you need to be in the moment. You have to be present. Because then you're gonna be like, dang, I wish I would have had more fun, or I wish I would have did that. And then you'll be in your 50s like, I can't no more. You can still have fun, but you can't go to your 20s. You won't be able to go to your 30s, your 40s. That's it. So, you have to enjoy yourself right now. That's why me and you are on the same page when it comes to, at least for the most part. There's some things we won't probably agree on with, like, going to do stuff. But one thing I will agree with you on is I'm not living to work. How you guys doing? I'm Bronson Becerra.
And I'm Christian White.
Welcome to Bronson and Christian Talk.
Well, we took a hiatus from the show.
Yeah, we took our small break. So that's season 1 with the 10 or 11 episodes, I think it was.
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
We had to delete several. We had to dispose of a lot of the individuals as well.
We did actually have to delete a couple, and I think there's one that didn't even go through that we did, right? One time.
I mean,
there's one I don't even think we put up. We did it, but we didn't even use it.
It may have been. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I think that was the last one.
Or second shoot, I think that was the last one.
Yeah,
you were right.
Yep,
we didn't put up the last one.
Yep.
But yeah, how's everything been, man? How's business been going? How's like your own thing going? I know Vantage Point. It's been doing good. We've been up and running for a little bit over 2 months now. That was been in the works for like months and months prior. So now we're finally up and running, and I'm super excited how it's been going. It's in any business, as it's always tough to get it off the ground. But there's 3 heads. You know what I mean? So we have plenty of resources to use, and I'm happy about that. But how's everything been going for you, man? I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah. I feel like we have a lot of wind in our sails now. That we're starting to see some progress. It's very easy. With Vantage Point and stuff. Of course, there was a period, ladies and gentlemen, where we were waiting to get our contractor's license.
That was taking a while.
And after a while, you're like, okay, I want to move on to the next thing. Like, this is like, what's going on here? So, I feel like I'm kind of getting the rust off the wheels in terms of getting back into the action. Just kind of starting to share with the world. I'm excited.
Yeah. How's the other podcast going? How's your other one going?
Yes. So I shot so many episodes that my biggest challenge was trying to release them.
Right.
And so I have since released all my episodes. Actually, one of them I had to take back down and re-edit. But it's led to a lot of doors opening. It's led to the creation of Marbella Media, which is the media company that I've co-founded in Orange County, and just a lot of lessons, a lot of mistakes I've made with shooting and editing, but now I feel like, okay, I kind of get the lay of the land. I used to take out every little or every little defect, but then I like in somebody, and then I began to realize that that's what makes you human.
Right,
that's what makes you a person.
Yeah, and there was a time where you did that, and it sounded kind of weird.
It just sounded artificial and fake, and I think that's the thing that's helped podcasts achieve such prominence is people are able to just kind of vocalize themselves more. You're not under the auspices of some corporation or what have you that is choosing. You can't say this, you can't say that.
Right.
It's really become decentralized.
Right.
As we can see with Rogan and Taylor Swift. Look at the election, how it's completely changed the world. And legacy media, and for those who don't know, whether that's ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, how people are turning to creators. They're turning to podcasts and other platforms for news.
Right. Yeah, because the news is, I mean, no offense to if you're older and watching, it's more of an old person thing, because maybe it was of some quality at some point. Now it's just propaganda. Like,
well, what I think is what really did it, and this is what I've heard from people, is the 24-hour news cycle. So obviously, way before our time, there was a time where there were only 3 or 4 channels on TV. And when cable news came out, when there was 24/7 news, now they had to find a way to keep the keep people engaged. So what do they do? They sensationalize shit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, right. And then that's where the birth of cable television and all, but now it's so controlled,
Right.
that now we're thanks to the internet, thanks to social media, people are able to vocalize and share what they're doing. Just like today,
Right.
I'm learning a lot about finance. I'm learning a lot about stuff, what's going on, and it's from YouTube. It's from creators.
Yeah, you can literally learn how to fix your car on YouTube. You literally can do anything, just watch YouTube because someone's put it up. Literally good and bad. So there's a lot of garbage out there too. But yeah, that's good that your little side business is going good, and your podcast is doing good, and then now Vantage Point, we're hitting things hard. Cool news, little small news for us. We want to share.
No, go for it.
Oh yeah, so the Chamber of Commerce for Clovis, now we're a part of that, which is great. So I'm excited to be a part of that now. So shouts out to them. So
And we weren't even this wasn't even on the radar. No. We had actually gone to a property management company, and actually one of the property management companies we went to later on, we find out they were not so A+.
Yeah.
Okay, I better not drop names on here.
Don't say the name. Yeah. But that lady didn't say good things about them. But we're looking at a property management company just for for the business and stuff. And then we just happened to go across the street, and it just clicked. It was just perfect timing. And then she said she was even putting in all the last minute stuff for the booklet, right? That as we were like going to her, she's like, yeah, I'm just working on it right now. So she's like, well, you guys will be in the book and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Timing's everything. It's just so random, like that we decided to go right there to that little spot, go across the street, boom, talk to her.
And they happened to be open.
Happened to be open.
There.
Didn't look like, no offense, didn't look like it was open. And,
yep.
But yeah, it went smooth, and I'm happy. It's one, small step to, greater accomplishment for our business when it comes to marketing and getting us out there and get exposure. And, it's who and if we can get ourselves intertwined with the right people, obviously with, them, it's going to do us wonders. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's a good step. It's a good step. So I'm excited, man. I mean, I've been saying that since we started putting our heads together, thinking like, what are we going to do in February? And then just to think like, just a couple more months, it's already been a year.
Well, I just, as I reflect on this year, and of course we're wrapping up, I can't believe the rest of the year is going to be through here before long.
It's just crazy. I forgot who we're talking today, like how fast everything is going. Like, I mean, as cliche as it sounds, it's like, man, it just goes by too fast. Got to enjoy the day. And I post a lot of stuff on my stories that talk about positive stuff and whatever. And I'm like, I've been saying it a lot lately. Enjoy the day. Don't wait for your Friday. Oh man, I can't wait till Friday. Now look, am I happy it's Friday? Yeah. Because the weekend, usually weekends you don't work that much, but I feel like I work every day in a different way though. I may not physically be out there working, but I'm working like tomorrow. Me and him are going to meet up and, discuss other things for business and how we can do X, Y, and Z. But, you kind of have to. If you want to get to, from point A to point B all the way down, you have to put in the work. And this is something me and Christian have talked about. I feel like, it can get discouraging sometimes when things aren't happening quickly. I'm that way. You can be, it's human nature. Like, well, it's not happening. But you got to put in the work, and, Christian's putting in the work. I'm putting in the work, and it's going to all unfold to the best, end goal for us. We're really going to succeed. We're already succeeding, it just sucks sometimes to grind so hard, but it makes it so much more sweeter, the reward, at the end of the day, but I feel like because we've been in like this weird, just like, like just what the hell is going to happen with the licensing, and is it coming, or what are we going to do? Like, it's just, we've been at the standstill. So it kind of got a little, stale, if that makes sense. So, but now we're up and going past couple months, we're hitting the ground, hard, getting stuff done. And so much is happening so quickly now. I feel like everything's like starts a trickle effect, like boom, 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 boom. But, I'm excited, and I know great things are coming. So I only have nothing but great things to say about the business. Honestly, like I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I feel so much more better now. Like I just feel like, like, okay, because you have to put in the time. And, that's why I always keep saying I'm so excited for the direction that the business is going. Even though it's only been up for a couple months, I just feel like I've been working for this point for all these years to like finally, boom, now, like I just feel comfortable. I feel good, you know, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. I've been have several books here behind me. Of course, I have our Vantage Point logo there, and a lot of these books are entrepreneurial centric, and Bronson brought up a great point in that I have had a tendency to try out different careers, and I think the conversation we had, I think it was it? Well, where are we at today?
Tuesday.
Today's Friday. Yeah. So it's in terms of really focusing, and I think that was a reminder of what I had set out to do with you as it relates to the landscape company. Obviously I've got all these different things going on, and it's shiny object syndrome is easy.
And then we're gonna have some more things going on.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're just flooding it, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, the thing I wanted to comment on and I want to share with the audience is one of the things that I'm really observing, and this may become as obvious to some people, but to me it's more really come home, which is so much of one's success in life, from what I am learning and observing from others, is really just doing a lot of the basics. There's no real fancy secret or this or shortcut. It's just literally doing the basics monotonously day in and day out, showing up, and you will find success, and also just kind of sticking with the domain and not moving around a whole lot. And so it's I've had to
what that's called? Grinding.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to stick through it, man, and then you're gonna make it in the end. It's just hard in the beginning. It's supposed to be. I tell my sons, and I've said this on the podcast before. They're like, "Man, Dad, I want those abs. Dad, I want." Well, you got to work for it. It's not easy. Like, it takes a while to get to that point. But once you get there, you're gonna have it, and then you're gonna I want to keep this, and you're gonna keep working hard to maintain that. But you got to get there first. That's why they say, try to make your first million is extremely hard, But then once you make it, it's like getting you're not really well diverse in jiu-jitsu type stuff, but it's like after you get your blue belt and purple belt, then it doesn't get necessarily harder. It's hard at blue belt. You somewhere you learn everything. And then purple belt, it's a little tough. You're revising everything. Then brown belt, so it starts going. It's not that it gets harder at black belt because you have so much knowledge, just retaining all that, and it's all the time and years that you spent, and now you're just coasting, man. And that's the same thing with business. You got to put all the hard work for the first 5 years. I mean, depending on what business you're doing, but for us, we're landscaping. I don't have to grind and bust my butt for 20 years for it to be successful. My thing is a 3 to 5 year mark to where it should be running itself. Where me and Christian are not there's not much we having to do at all. Because we're door-to-door type things right now because we want to. We don't have to, but we're doing it because we want to show a face to the business.
Yeah, and I wanted to piggyback on that just now. I just read an article that a lot of CEOs are recognizing the need to have a personal brand. Mm-hmm. It's not like the days of the past where you could be some big company and you're the CEO. People want to know who the CEO is. And they want to I feel like they know the person, and that's what I'm seeing more. So yeah, I mean, us being the face of it. And I've always mentioned Bronson. I think Bronson is let me preface, I like where we're at geographically and such, but in some respects, I mean, I think Bronson would just really kick butt in even a bigger market like a Southern California because you have the brand, you don't mind putting yourself out there. A lot of people don't, as I say, and he's actually inspired me in ways especially how he engages with the audience, how he really personalizes it. I feel like most people on social media, they'll post a photo, but it's not quite the same as when the person's looking in the eyes and they're talking. So I've taken notes from him as it relates to how he does that. So I definitely like how we both appreciate media.
No, for sure.
And it's a media of expression.
Yeah, I 100% agree. To me, it's just effortless. I just like to talk. Then I'm just.
Well, you like to talk?
Sometimes. But I just like to talk, man. And, I feel even for instance, when you're on the phone with someone, it's obviously there's so much more engagement than texting. you get a better feel for it. And there can be misunderstandings too via text. Like someone can be like, no, I don't want to. Or are they upset? Right? Because you can't really, unless you put the like a exclamation mark or a question, or a happy face to kind of categorize it as, oh, I'm happy in this moment or sad or whatever. But when you're on a phone, you get a better like feel for this situation. So when I'm talking, videotaping myself, usually driving, probably not the best thing. I don't know. I just kind of get lost in it. I don't really think about it. I'm just talking.
Well, the other thing I was going to mention is, as it relates to avoiding misinterpretation from text, is I will send, if I can't get on the phone with somebody, and the next best thing, in my opinion, is sending a video message,
Right.
in lieu of a text message. And then if you can't send a video message, then I just hit the speak to the, and that's how I try and.
Just make sure you're not on the toilet.
Exactly. You definitely don't want to be on the toilet there. Like our friend Bronson said.
I'm just like, what are you doing? But no, yeah, I think that's way better.
This guy.
Not much has changed. If you watch all the last ones, I don't know what it is.
Oh, you know what? That messed it up last time with the editing. Yeah, let's not do
Good
that
job.
again.
The whole thing got messed up because of him now.
Yeah.
But,
But I've learned not to play with the sound. We have this really nice soundboard, and it's got all these bells and whistles. But
We
anyhow,
he tampered with it last time, and what did it do? It just
it cut out the audio. Yeah,
so it was a delayed time. So if
it
I'm
didn't
like,
sync it up, yeah.
it's like if I'm talking, but and then like my voice doesn't match the talking.
Yep.
Yeah, that was because of that.
I think that's what it did. Now it shouldn't do that, but that's more of me needing to understand the nuances of it. But,
Yeah, because that sucked. Because we didn't. I think that's what we didn't post.
it was a different one.
Oh, so we didn't post two.
Well,
was
no, we
two.
actually did. I think we actually ended up doing that. I just
Oh,
had
we
I had to
did?
do some surgery on it.
Oh man,
Yeah, it was a bloody mess.
Fucking super plastic surgery on that thing because
There
it was
you go.
chopped up for like most of the video, right?
Just kind of the second half. I remember a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
half of it. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, everything else has been good. With at least my personal life, my kids getting bigger, sports, life is just getting better. Of course, there's hills and valleys, and you just have to adjust to it. That's life. You just got to deal with it. You can't sit there and cry. Now you can compartmentalize and. Like, okay, this is what it is, and then got to keep moving forward and trucking along. A lot of people use different vices like drinking, drink their issues away or smoke their issues away or whatever it might be. But there can be good vices, the gym, things like that. But for me, mine's the gym, hanging with my kids, stuff like that. I don't really have anything. We all get upset, angry, frustrated when business ain't going good or relationships or whatever. Even though me and Christian are both single, this guy right here, ladies, gentlemen, whoever
This guy.
he loves everybody equally. But yeah, no, everything's been good. Joking aside, everything's been good, and I'm just happy we're starting to do the podcast again because I felt like we took a little hiatus just because just life, like he was busy, I'm busy. He has his business, and we had the business together. There was a lot, and then my kid, it's just been such a headache. Like my sons have practices Monday through Thursdays, so then I'm off work. And
no
then,
excuse.
This guy. I love to live his life for a week. I would love to wear a blue collar shirt, some khakis, and some loafers with no socks on, maybe a nice shiny fucking penny there. And then he can come in and wear my fucking shit and take care of 2 kids for a week. How cool would that be?
You want to live at the White House here?
Yeah, man, I would love to, man. I mean, I have people paying my shit and I would love it. I love it, bro. I love it, bro. How crazy? You think you'd be able to do that if I'm like, hey, man, let's switch lives for a week?
I'll be like, nah.
You're like,
Nah.
no.
Come on, I know better than to say that. Come on,
Hey,
man.
would you be able to do that, though? You think you'd be able to do that?
Absolutely.
You think you could?
I'm not saying what you have is easy. by
No,
any
no,
means.
no,
I've
no.
never
I'm
said
saying,
that,
but like, if they're like, say it was like a show, like, and
Yeah.
we switched lives.
Oh yeah, like
They used to do that. Remember
yeah,
the
there was
wives
House
and the-
Swap. House Swap. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
that's
on like
right.
over 10 years ago.
Shit, yeah, that was long. But I mean,
But see, here's what I would do. I just hire a nanny to just go pick up my kids and do that. But then when I need to go watch it, when I need to watch the game, then I'd watch the game. But when it's like chauffeuring, that's when I just outsource.
you know what's crazy is, I know you're joking, obviously, but like it's crazy when you're
Kinda.
he's like kind of when they're your kids, you want to do everything.
Fair.
Like you want to make sure they're safe. You want to make sure that you're picking them up and everything's good. Unless it's like family, like my mom, my dad, or my brother. I won't even trust my friends to get my kids. Not because they would do anything bad. It's just a mental thing. I would trust you, like Amadeo. I trusted Eddie, believe it or not. I trusted people around.
Oh my God, is that a red dot on your head? He's like,
Yeah, no, like, the joking aside, but yeah, no, because these people have, they're good. You guys are good people. Like, you have feelings and you care and you come from good family. He came from good family. You come from good family. Amadeo does. So people I trust, Big Derek, I trust him, especially as your kids, man. Like, but back to the point is like, that's like when I was with my ex-girlfriend years ago, I trusted her, obviously lived with us. So she picked up the boys from school. She picked up Drake from school and Theseus in kindergarten, I think he was at the time. And, so but it's hard for me to trust her. Those are my kids, man, but yeah, you'd want to pick up your kids. And, that's why like lately, cause I've been so busy with work, my mom's been taking them in the mornings, and I love to take them in the mornings. But about the time I get to work, it's after 8 when about 8:30. And then I start work at 7. So that's an hour and a half of work I'm not doing. But even my dad was like, son, you gotta take him to school. Like you can't. He's like, I can't go back in time. I wish I can take you to school. I wish I was able to do that, and I wasn't. And so that kind of hit me a little bit because I know that, but hearing him say that, because his dad never did anything with him, so like literally nothing. So him telling me that, it's kind of like, man, because look at Drake's dude. My son's like my height. They're taller already. He's 14. Like. Next year, he'll start being able to get his permit and drive, right? And it's just like, I just remember when he was Theseus's age. I can't. It's too late. It's too late. In a few years, I'll be 40. I can't go back to my 20s, right? So, it's just crazy. That's why I say it's so crazy how fast life's going and how, you need to be in the moment. You have to be present. Because then you're gonna be like, dang, I wish I would have had more fun, or I wish I would have did that. And then you'll be in your 50s like, I can't no more. You can still have fun, but you can't go to your 20s. You won't be able to go to your 30s, your 40s. That's it. So, you have to enjoy yourself right now. That's why me and you are on the same page when it comes to, at least for the most part. There's some things we won't probably agree on with like going to do stuff, but one thing I will agree with you on is I'm not living to work. I'm not going to work for 30 years and never see my kids and never, like, I can't do that. I need to spend time with my sons and love on them and hang out with them and do stuff with them. I'm not going to work 14, 18. Enrique, our guy, man, he works 14 hours every day.
Kudos to Enrique.
14 hours every day, Monday through Saturday. Like, there has to be a greater purpose, though. Like, and I'm not knocking that. That's awesome that if you can do that. But for me, I'm not going to live that way.
Well, I think he sees it as, and I had another person on my podcast say the same thing. If you see work as play and play as work, then it doesn't feel like work.
But
I do get where you're coming from.
This is the argument. You're doing it in a way where you're not. I think that's selfish because you're not being around the people that need you and love you. And then people can be like, with the rebuttal, well, they need me to work to provide. But if you're already making good enough money, and if you're the boss, that's where you put your position. Maybe I'll take a step back, maybe a little bit of a cut in your pay in order to spend more time with your family, because you're not going to get that time back. You can always get more hours to work longer if you want to. You just can't get that. You can't get that. You'll never get that third grade game back on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? And that's so important for me. Like, I love watching my kids play, and I love watching them do these cool things. And why would I want to work, 9 to 6, 9 to 7, and, not knocking anybody who does that. And sometimes we have to, right? But every day, like my guy, Enrique, he'll start like at 6:30, won't get home till like 8 o'clock. He was on the skitzer at 7:30 at night, like still doing the dark with his lights on, pulling out that big old tree trunk. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, so, but hey, and I'm not mad at that. For me, that's not what I want to do. I'll do that now for a little bit here and there. You got to grind for, some years in order to get to that point where you can chill out. But I don't want to chill out in my late 50s and early 60s. I don't want to do that. I don't want to enjoy life. And then what? The average man dies at 75. You retire in your early 60s. So what? You got about 12 years to like live it up. Not me. I'm gonna enjoy That's why I say back. Let's rewind it a bit. I enjoy every day is like a Friday for me. I'm gonna just enjoy. Well, I can still have a drink on a Monday. I can still go watch my kids play basketball on a Monday. I can still watch them play basketball on a Saturday. Like it's the same thing for me. The same thing. So I'm gonna enjoy it as. I know it sounds kind of corny, like every day's a Friday. I get it, but it's a mental thing. Like my Tuesday's like my Friday. Like today's no different than any other day for me. The same thing. But, I don't know how you feel because you don't have kids and stuff. So it's a little different. Actually, it's a lot different. You're just worried about yourself. You don't have to worry about going to games, practices, picking up kids, or if they're sick, or if you go to the gas station and get yourself a soda, you're not worried about getting 2 other sodas. Right? Like, you're just worried about getting yourself. Are you crying? Because this dude's eyes are watery as hell. No, I'm sorry. I was like...
No, my eyes are watery. Or what do you call it?
I'm like, man, sorry, baby boy. Like, you'll be all right.
This guy.
I was just like, man, I thought I was giving that good of a speech. I was like, man, it's pretty good, man.
Okay, Martin Luther King. All right. Yeah.
I have a dream. But yeah, man. So, anyways, I'm not going to work all crazy for 20, 30 years. And you've seen it on YouTube channels, those guys that are entrepreneurs that they'll be in their 70s still busting their ass, like 16-hour days. I'm like, then what? You by yourself in your diaper and no one's able to help you? Like, bro, you're too busy working.
Well, some people enjoy it. Like for me,
They enjoy not being around their family.
I know. Bronson always gives me shit, and
I'm gonna give him shit after this podcast for not coming
does.
to hang out with me. Piece of shit.
This guy. There is. So I agree with you in that. If you have kids, you definitely want to be there. As they're maturing, because of course, and if you look at it like on a graph, so like the Sahil Bloom, if anyone's heard of him, this guy, he's a creator and a really thoughtful one, and he showed a graph, and it showed from the ages of the time you're born to the time you're 18 or college per se.
Is that the one you sent me?
I don't know if that was it, but you spend a high percentage of your time with your parents, right? Like, I mean, a disproportionate amount. And then if you look at the graph, and then as soon as the kids leave the house, it drops.
Absolutely.
And in some cases, I've seen a Hispanic gentleman, I think, mention it, how white families, the kids tend to the kids might move to another state, or they might move to another area. Whereas with like Mexican or Hispanic families,
Stay a little closer.
They stay closer, and you don't see that being gone, if you will, where it's like you might see your family. I'm bringing that up. I'm bringing it up because different cultures and people have a way of how they spend time with their family and stuff.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, for a lot of people, it dips dramatically as soon as their kids leave the household. So it is important. But I think with work, ultimately, I think you have to determine what you want out of life. I saw a LinkedIn post where the guy mentioned this is a great test you can do if you want to determine if you're on the right course, and that is to envision yourself at your funeral from above, and what do you want people to say of your eulogy? And so if you want people to say, hey, this guy was around all the time, dependable, or this guy was a workaholic, I never really saw him very much, but he did achieve a lot. So I think you just got to determine what you want. And yes, I have in the past year I've been a monk, really. Actually, I've been
shaved his head, that's why he has his hat on.
Yeah, exactly. This guy,
He looks like a thumb.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a wig like Washington up here, and so anyhow.
You lost your train of thought.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah.
He doesn't have his thinking cap on. No, you're talking about you being a workaholic, and you just have you're just so focused on that.
I'm very focused on it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like, you're in a position where you can do that. You're still very young. You have no kids. He has no.
You love that.
He has no
I always,
girlfriend.
I always feel like it's weaponized against me
He has
sometimes.
no girlfriend. I don't think he has a boyfriend. So at the end of the day, he's able to have room to like. And this is not this. I even told him off doing this. Remember before I was like, "Yo, you're like a unicorn. He has no kids. He's single. The fuck is wrong with him?" Right? That's how the world perceives because everybody has a kid in their 30s, at least one, or they're in a relationship. He's just so fixated on his goal, and that's to be a monk.
This guy trying to psychoanalyze, break down my psyche here.
No, joking aside, I'm in a meeting. I'm like, it's like 2 a.m, right?
Well, I just don't take calls at 2 a.m. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
His boyfriend's asleep.
This guy's always giving me shit. I want to hear in the comments what I should. What were your thoughts? How I should deal with this guy?
If he wasn't my friend, I wouldn't do that. I care about him as a person.
I know. I appreciate
He's
that.
my buddy, man, and you got to be able to, just enjoy life and talk shit. And there's so many people are so uptight.
Fair,
so many
true.
people can't take a joke. Yeah, they can't take a joke. I'm glad you can't hear some of the stuff we say, but we talk so much shit.
There'd be too many bees.
Oh yeah, we'd be banned from every social media platform. But like, yeah, me and my dad are the same way. Me and my brother are for my friends, my family. We talk so much crap. Me and my sons, just some of the stuff my kids say. I'm like, oh man, these are my kids. Like, so it's fun. You have to enjoy life because life can be really, really serious. We're out there doing business, crunching numbers. Going to different people, meeting people, having meetings. Like, it's serious, not always fun and games. And not saying it's like a bad thing. It's just, you got to be very professional. You got to be very on point and pay attention because the moment you slip up, it can be $1 million job or, 6-figure job. And you're like, oh crap, I was too busy not paying attention, fucking around. So you really got to, so when I'm not doing that stuff, I like to talk shit and joke. But even when I'm at work, that's why some of my workers, like even on Medel's like, bro, I love working for you because all we do is talk shit and it's fun. And it just kind of passes the time by. Of course, there's times where we might not say a word for each other for like 30, 40 minutes because you got to do work. You know what I mean? So you can put your headphones on, you kind of like zone out. But I just, you got to be able to laugh. You got to be able to make people laugh. I mean, come on, you got to be able to make a woman laugh. If you can't make a woman laugh, you ain't going nowhere.
Well, remember what I said. I heard this from my buddy. If a woman stops laughing at your jokes, that's the beginning of the end.
Oh, for sure. Dude, you got to have a sense of humor. Like, you can't be like, knock, knock type joke. Like, you...
Who's there?
Man, I almost said something. But yeah, you...
I don't have to do more editing on this. I'm trying to keep it we just upload it.
I'm just going to say it and he's going to edit it right now. No, I'm just kidding. No, but joking aside, like, I know that's kind of like segueing from the business to, like women. But at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like that's a huge part. Like, if you can make a woman laugh, right? I mean, you had a girlfriend. I'm sure you had moments where, like, you guys laughed, and it was just like, were you like when you were with her? Did like I don't know how your relationship was. That was a while ago, but like
robotic.
Yeah, like I feel like, do you want me to iron your khakis today? Yeah, please. Can you get my blue shirt out? All right, cool. Like I feel like it was like your alarm went off every 5 minutes with her. All right, babe, you can come in and talk to me for a second. No. Alarm goes off. Hey, you gotta leave. The reason why I'm saying that, you guys, is because this guy has an alarm for every time he blinks. For every time he takes a step. Like we were talking at the Chamber of Commerce, his alarm goes off. I'm like, what is it a reminder of? To fucking breathe or what? To blink right now? Like this guy literally has over 100 alarms, right?
I probably have close to that, yeah.
Who the hell needs 100 alarms?
Well, you know why I do it? Because it frees up my memory in the sense that I don't need to be thinking about, I got to do this, I got to do that as I talk to people, as I work, as I do this. It allows for me to completely outsource.
Sucking at multitasking.
Well, technically, no one multitasks.
This is technically my nuts, man. What do you mean technically shit?
Yeah, no, really, they've done studies, and even if I try and focus on one thing at a time.
Well, you have if it's something important, you got to focus on that. But multitasking is not like you're juggling and kicking the ball at the same time and then like banging your head on something else, right? It's like multitasking. You're doing this real quick and then you're pivoting, in the words of Christian, to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? And then go back to it. To me, that's multitasking, right? I mean, it's not like balancing all the shit at one time, literally. But yeah.
I think what you mean to say is you're good at, when people say multitasking, of course, I get what they're coming from. What they're
Right.
saying is you're good at being able to quickly transition and pivot
The
from one
transition,
thing
right.
quickly, that, and the other.
Good at transitioning would be the
Yeah.
best, I guess, way
Yeah.
to say it.
You're able to cycle through different, no, I get
Not,
it.
honestly, and I swear to God, I wasn't good at all when I first had kids. Like, but literally, it either is going to teach you or you're just going to just continue not to learn. Some people just don't learn. But with my sons, it's definitely helped, with homework, taking them to practice. Oh, man, I got to make dinner. Got to do laundry. It helps me focus. Like, I really just, boom, boom. That's why I'm so huge on, like, I have a certain regimen of things. I like to do things. I have to wake up. We've talked about this, and we even said it on the podcast. I wake up at 5:15. My alarm is at 5. I get up about 5:10, 5:15, get in the shower. I have my routine. So that's my thing. I have like a routine. When people mess with it, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little grouchy. Because I like a certain
Touche.
I like a certain thing. If it's off by a tad, I don't care. But in the mornings, I don't like when people bother me.
Well, that's why I found, that's why I found myself waking up a little early and earlier. Like right now, I'm waking up at 4 in the morning. And
That's pretty early.
Yeah, and I'm doing that because I'm trying to write more online, and I'm taking a course on writing.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as when I was getting up at 4:30, or not that 4:30 to 4 is a huge difference,
Right.
but I'm just saying,
I mean, that 30 minutes can be a pretty big difference,
fair
bro.
enough, fair enough. It's just I just feel like there's so many calls. Like I've got different businesses that I don't have that time to just I need that time to block time out where I don't answer phone calls. And when I'm up at 4 in the morning until about for the next 4 hours or so, I really don't get a whole lot of calls, and it allows for me to do deep work. And to me, and I borrowed this from a guy named Dan Coe, 4 hours of deep work is more important than 8 hours of distracted work.
Well, yeah.
And I've tried to also incorporate the 80-20 rule, which for those who aren't aware of it, which is Pareto's law, which is basically 20%. Like, for example, let's say you have clients. 20% of your clients are going to yield 80% of your results. So rather than focus on all or everybody that could be a potential client, focus on the 20% of your clients that produce the most results for you. Right. And same thing with and another thing I've come to embrace is simplicity over minimalism. Less is more in some instances, and sometimes when we set a day or time, hey, I need a day to get this done, then it takes a whole day. I need 6 months to get this done. It's going to take a whole 6 months. Okay, I only got 30 minutes to get this done. Then you get it done in 30 minutes. Then you figure out, oh my gosh, I have so much time I didn't realize because we Parkinson's law, we fill time. I'm trying to describe it here. I basically described it already. That you determine how long it's going to take, basically.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm trying to become more efficient.
That's good, man.
And
Yeah.
and these are
Some of the books you're reading.
some of the books I'm reading. Yeah, it's my journal. I do my rituals, and
He casts his spells right here.
I do my bloodletting.
He gets his pen and pokes the face,
Yeah,
eyes right here, and I so I always wake up like, fuck, what the hell's going
Yeah.
on? But that's good, man, that you have your own, like, I think everybody should have their own, like, little thing they do, at least in the morning, to have your own you time.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'll wake up, literally, I turn on the shower to get hot. I do literally just like a couple minutes real quick of stretching and like foam rolling. I have to, man. And then I feel better. I get in the shower, and then sometimes lately I've been taking cold showers. I hate it. I hate but love it. But man, talk about waking you up just to, man, dude, like,
So
and it's been cold as fuck in the morning.
oh yeah. So this is what I do. I do the cold showers as well, and I know people knock at people who do it, or it sounds cheesy or whatever.
Right, hell
but
no.
It works. It definitely wakes you up. If ever I'm tired or I feel like kind of nappy, I'll go on a walk. I'll just take a cold shower. You just alert. Here's one of the, and then right before I fall, so right when I want to wind down for the night, I take a warm shower.
Yeah, relaxes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
definitely relaxing. Like for me, I'll take a hot shower. It seems like anytime I shower, I always like have to stretch or something. It's just a habit now. It's an automatic thing I do when I shower. Like I have to stretch. I have to do something, especially because of work, dude. I'm always lifting heavy objects and stuff, and constantly just grinding. But I think it's good to have one in the morning and at night. You know what I mean? I think it's great. And then I've been kind of trying to take like 20-minute power naps when I get home. Like after I'm done, taking a shower, I'll force myself, because if I don't, man, because my routine's a little different than Christian. So I go to bed obviously extremely late. If you watch our podcast, you know that. And like the other night, I went to bed at like 1:30, and then I woke up at 5. So didn't really get a lot of sleep still. But I've been trying to take naps, because like I really take a 20-minute power nap than like an hour and a half nap. Man, that hour and a half nap would mess me up. Does that do it to you?
Oh, well, yeah, and I think it can mess you up in different ways. I mean, I think the first and foremost being you're going to stay up later typically, right? And then your sleep schedule gets screwed
It's all
up.
messed up.
So-
cat naps is like,
Yeah, I feel like cat naps are good, but cat naps could be dangerous in that, you could oversleep, or
you can be like Christian and set an alarm for 20 minutes.
there you go. Well, here's what I've been doing differently. So when I'm, like usually around 3:00, a lot of people their energy dips. Right. So instead of taking a nap, if you can, go on a brief walk or even work out at that time. Now what you're doing is instead of a period of time that would where you'd otherwise be unproductive because you're kind of tired,
right?
And instead of taking a nap, which is what a lot of people do, which then interferes with your sleep cycle later on, go work out if possible, or go on a walk, or just go do some push-ups in the office
active,
or something. Yeah. Because then you'll wake up and then you'll have energy again. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm doing. So instead of me, for example, I am most alert and my most mental clarity in those first several hours of the day. And rather than work out in the morning where I'm using up that precious time to go do something that I could do when I'm tired, I'd rather allocate that to writing or to doing something that really requires my full attention.
Right. No, it's good. Yeah, when I'm done with work, then I'll go get Theseus. Then I wait for Drake. So I leave my house at like 6:30 for work, and then by the time me and Drake and Theseus come, it'll be like 3:45, 3:50. And then Drake has practice like at 5 sometimes, depending. And it's 5 to 7. Then sometimes Theseus will have his practice from 7 to 9 after that. So, now it's switched up a little bit, but it's like, so it's hard to figure out, when I can get rest time in there. So my rest time's like not really till like the night when they go to bed, But again, depending on their days with practice, I try to find like a 20-minute time where I set my alarm for 20 minutes or 15 minutes, take a quick nap, and I feel like I close my eyes and open. That's how tired I am. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I didn't even feel like I slept. But that's how, like, a lot of people, I guess, sleep. I don't know if you're like that. When you fall asleep, do you wake up?
Like in a panic kind of?
No, do you wake up in the morning, or do you wake up at least once or twice a day or night, like when you sleep? Or do you actually sleep all the way through?
I mean, sometimes I have to get up to use the restroom and stuff. But something that I think is maybe more pertinent to what you mentioned is sometimes I've had it where like I'm sleeping and then I'll jolt, like I'll like just like wake up, like I don't know if you want. I don't want to call it a panic, but it's like where it's like, and then I just, fall back asleep.
I mean, so yeah, no, I wasn't necessarily saying that. I was just like, for me, no, he's just weird.
I'm just an alien.
He's just crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying like,
Just a
say you fall asleep
reptilian
at like 9:30. I'm saying, say you fall asleep at 9:30. Do you wake up like at 4, or is there between that time? Do you usually have to wake up between the 9:30 and 4 when you wake up? You know what I mean?
No, I usually sleep all the way through.
See,
but like I said, sometimes I'll get
you said
interrupted if I have to use
sometimes
a restroom
every
or
single
something.
night, once or twice I wake up.
For how long?
Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes an hour. I'll just be on. I cannot sleep.
Okay, so the first things come to mind is you've got to have a lot more sleep in your life.
Oh yeah,
because they've done a lot of studies. Man. When you have 5 hours less of sleep, I mean, you're shortening your over the long term, it will shorten your lifespan, and you're not cognitively there. And just like Bezos runs Jeff Bezos, right? Huge company. You know what he says? On sleep, he gets his 8 hours because
he's fucking one of the richest people in the world. I'm pretty sure he's able to get 8 hours.
But he also has a lot of responsibility when he was running the company. And
in the beginning,
yeah, and the importance is he would rather have full sleep so he can make sound decisions, and he only has to make a few decisions a day that are really high level important, rather than get 5 hours of sleep because he's trying to maximize a day. Sometimes less is more in terms of the workload, and that's why I put a premium on sleep, and I try and have a good sleep regimen.
Right. No, I agree.
And again, I've begun to see more and more in life. Things add up and things compound.
Right. No, I completely agree. Yeah, I need to get more sleep. That I understand. I completely need more sleep, man. I 36 years old. I don't know if that's gonna change. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So, in closing, I'm glad we're doing this.
We're wrapping up.
Wrapping
So
up.
we're going to talk for another couple hours.
Yeah. Now we're at the 44-minute mark. I think we're all right. It kind of went probably fast though. 44 minutes, almost
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad we're back at it. I know, that was like season 1. Now we're back at season 2, and it's just gonna be better. And it'd be cool if we can get, to different locations. We're definitely gonna get people on that. It's gonna be fun this time around. It's gonna be even more fun. I feel the first time was fun. Second time is like you already know how to do everything now, and it's like now we can, prioritize things a little differently and get different guests and even be at different places and stuff. So I think it's gonna be good.
Absolutely. We're really looking forward to rolling out some interesting dialogues with an array of guests. Right. So
I'm excited, man. So I appreciate you guys. Definitely check out the IG, Bronson Christian
check
Talk,
us out.
And then Vantage Point. Go check out our IG as well. And I appreciate you guys listening. If you have any comments, definitely hit us up. We appreciate it last, I guess you can say season, when you guys were messaging us and appreciating what we're talking about and how you can relate. And, hopefully to hear some feedback, whether it's good or bad, definitely let us know.
All right, guys. Hey, take care, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this episode.